Hello, citizens of YouTube. This is the Geeky Nerd here, and today we're going to be talking about color filling your gun. Now, I know we went into a previous video, which you can check out here on the channel, called HK Nail Salon, and that was kind of just the general procedure on color filling, but this is a different method shown to me by a friend who is actually a gunsmith, who can actually put 18 years of being a gunsmith on their resume, which is pretty freaking cool. But regardless, just kind of want to give you guys an update, because he kind of told me just a different way you can do it. Two ways to skin a cat, and each one has its own pros, cons, benefits, and things like that. So before we get into it, I'd like to send a big thank you out to everyone who has liked, commented, and subscribed on the previous videos. I always appreciate it and always enjoy talking to you guys and just getting that dialogue going and getting your kind of opinion. And I always enjoy answering your questions. And if you're new here to the channel, welcome. If you enjoy this type of content, enjoy this video here, please consider liking, commenting, or subscribing. And with the PR out the way, let's get into it. So, as I was saying, the previous video was fine for most circumstances because, like I said, you're layering the color in there and you're giving it adequate time to dry and set, and you're getting a nice, deep, rich, full color fill. But I ran into a particular issue with my FNS9 right here in front of you, trying to color fill it. And the issue is that the color, and before we start messing with it, this is my bedside gun, so make sure we safety check it. Nothing in the mag, nothing in the chamber. All good. Well, stuff in the mag, but mag's over there, unless it magically comes over here. But basically, the issue that I was experiencing, which I'll try to get a macro shot up for you guys, is that, and I already kind of did it, so I just want to kind of, I do need to do just a tiny little bit touch up and remove some stuff here. So I'm going to put another coat on just to demonstrate to you guys, because I want to make sure that it really did work before I was telling everyone else to go do it. But like I said, a friend of mine, I asked him with this issue. It's like, hey, I have this FNS9 here, and when I'm trying to put the color in and kind of do the layers and take it off and, put it on kind of light coats and then take it off, every single time, instead of it actually staying deep in the recesses, it's actually just flaking right off. And the reason for that is because while it is a thick engraving, it is very shallow. So instead of the rag just skipping across the top of the surface, it actually was just having enough fibers to catch down in there and pull that paint out. So it was like, crap, I can't even color fill it like I want to. So he was like, hey, try this. Instead, basically what we're going to do is, instead of taking and layering it on there, we're going to kind of do like what's silk screening, almost like, have you ever done like one of those t-shirts or applying anything? So you just take an old kind of credit card, store card, what have you, and we're going to put the color on there, but we're going to do it kind of light, but we're going to make sure it's thick enough to where it stays wet. That's the important part that he's saying. And essentially, we're going to take the card and we're going to swipe across the top, and it's going to do like a silk screen motion, so it's going to leave very minimal residue, push the color in there, and it's going to leave just a minimal amount to wipe off. When we do that, when we do finally let it sit and dry, once we come back with the non-acetone nail polish remover, then once we just take the tiniest whiff of it off, I don't know why I'm using this, you just take the tiniest whiff of it off, it'll just take that very thin coloration that's on there, instead of actually going down in the recesses, because it'll be a lot thicker and a lot harder in the recesses than that very thin coat on top. So it's kind of a bit of a delicate procedure, but you can use this for any of you guys who are having issues with doing kind of the other color fill video, and you might find this easier, might not, but two ways to skin a cat, so figured I'd pass it along. So let's get into it. Take the gun down. It's the only part I hate. You gotta do this weird line up and pull the trigger. Okay, put that to the side. Disassemble. So first things first here, we're gonna make sure that it is free of oil as much as you can. You can take some rubbing alcohol. I'm just gonna, instead I've already kind of done this before, so I'm just gonna kind of rub it dry here. It's nice and dry. So now, make sure you keep your cloth handy. Your non-acetone nail polish remover, again, make sure it is non-acetone. One also thing, just a side note for you guys, make sure you don't use this on any kind of painted finishes. I don't use this method on any of my AKs, mainly just because they're painted, like the standard Arsenal kind of paint, and it starts to strip it off, but it kind of gets the finish kind of gummy. So I just kind of avoid that. Also, make sure you get your little oil here. Gonna get your rag. Just gonna get a little bit here. That's just to kind of make sure afterwards, because again, once you do this, guys, you want to make sure that you re-oil the surface, because while most finishes are going to be fine from this, you are completely removing any and all oily protection. So the FN, by the way, doing the other method, I was trying my damnedest to get that little diamond in the FN to appear, but I think I did a pretty good job. Looking up a pretty close face value, so can't ask for too much better. But we're going to touch up this FNS9 here. So give your nail polish a good old shake. If I can open it up. And you're gonna, like I said, you're going to want to be quick with this, so you want to make sure that once you get it, take it right off. Don't ask me where I got the black nail polish from. I'm just joking. It doesn't matter. You can do a lot on this one. So I'm just going to apply it on there real quick. Again, and then I'm just going to take the little credit card here. I'm just going to go whoop, right across top. Wipe off the credit card. You can see the motion we're doing. We're pretty much just getting that as light as possible. Make it nice and deep in coloration. So you can see with that kind of motion, that's a little bit quicker, definitely a bit easier. I like my other method just because I feel like it gets it a bit deeper, especially when I just take that one coat off, because once nail polish hardens and you kind of like apply it in different steps, instead of having just one piece, it takes a lot less longer. And if you do wear off the top coat, you aren't going to wear down the base coat. To where if you mess it up, you're just going to take it straight down. So you can see there, nice color fill. You know, for the heck of it, I'll go over the FN again. Why not? Ain't gonna hurt. It's a little much. Okay. Whoop. Okay. Get this nice and thin as I can. That card kind of clean. You see there. Oh, no, you can't see there. It laid it in there pretty nice. So now we're going to make sure that this fully sets, hardens, cures, dries before we go ahead. Because I kind of neglected that part when I first did it, and when I went right back over, it took it right out because obviously it was so light. So you got to make sure it dries to where that thicker portion is nice and set and cured and dried, and then once you're done, it should come out looking pretty nice. I think this looks amazing. IMO, just being that black on a stainless steel slide. Again, not anything necessary, but definitely gives a little bit of a pop. And I'm not one really to sell my guns, but on the rare occasion that I have, I've noticed that doing this little simple trick will save you 15%. This little trick will usually sell your gun a bit quicker. I'm not. I think it's just because it makes it look a little bit more custom. It just really makes it like come to your attention, and it just makes it look really nice. So one little added benefit here. So I'm gonna let this fully dry, and I'll catch you guys here in a second. Okie dokie, guys. So sorry for that jump cut. Hopefully you don't get too seasick. But with that here, so you can see that it is fully dried. Definitely has a nice deep color fill there across the board. So overall, pretty nice. Now, one area where this won't work before we go too deep again, beyond doing, I mean, this seems like it will work for a lot of applications, but where it does have like fine detail, like on my, if you look at my previous video with the HK, there on the P30L, in the P30 part, there is like, instead of it just being like FNS, there is like a sub serration in between the letter to kind of, split it up inside the color. When I tried this method, it completely washed that over. Again, I was just trying to see how it worked on on all of my other guns, and doing this method, it completely wiped it over, so it took away a bit of that detail. So doing the other method, kind of breaking it down, if you have very fine detail or very intricate detail inside a design you're trying to keep, I would suggest doing the other video, which I'll link it in the video here throughout this video. So just take a little bit of a non-acetone nail polish remover. Again, we're just going to, let's find my wet spot. Just the tiniest whiff. Like, again, we are not taking off anything at all. Like, barely anything. You say, we are literally just taking off that little top coat, which there's a little bit right there. Which, watch, this is going to mess up the whole job. I did it. Look at me now, Ma. So, I'm going to take that little thickness off. Take a little thickness off. That way it doesn't screw us up. A little bit on top edge. You can see there, this dang logo. It's a pain in the rear. So I took a little bit too much off. So not really too much of an issue. I mean, it is an issue. It's an issue for me. God dang you, OCD. Striking again. So you can see what I'm talking about. How just like the slightest infraction will... or slightest like little extra movement that wasn't necessary will screw your whole freaking thing over. Mama didn't raise no quitter. So just gonna give that the quick dry. But basically, guys, that's the process. You know what? Hold on. Another jump cut, because I don't feel right just showing you guys a non-finished product and saying, oh, well, go try it on your own stuff. So, hold on. Okay. Now we're back. Yeah, doubts, didn't you? Got that son of a gun. So, you can see there, finished product, looking pretty nice. Overall, for the most part, 95% of the time. Works most of the time. So, yeah, that's pretty much the basics of it. Again, I'm just checking my own work. You know, OCD is a terrible disease, right? So after you're done, again, make sure you kind of oil this up after it's fully dried. Just give it a nice little wipe down in those areas that you were at. Again, once it's dry, you don't have to worry about it. And being that it's like acrylic nail polish, it isn't going to be really affected by the oil. While you guys are just watching me polish my slide. That is not a metaphor. Make sure that you don't do this on any kind of things like barrel parts or anything that's going to really get hot, because that will just melt out. So you just do this on kind of finished things. Again, this is just a finished thing. This is not this does nothing to improve anything except for your general aesthetics. So get it looking all nice and clean. See there? I think it looks nice. How about you? So we're going to put this, put my old baby back together. Again, I just love this gun. Oh, did I miss it? Oh, okay, cool. Function check. Always do that after every removal. Make sure nothing went twang and bang. So yeah. So there's the finished product, guys. That's kind of the silk screening method with just using a credit card to kind of go through. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys think you could do a better job, or if you think it looks okay, or if you think it's crap and you should take it to a real gunsmith. And not just Kitchen Joe gunsmith over here. So with that, guys, if you stuck around for this long, I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider liking, commenting, or subscribing. And with that, I hope everyone's having a wonderful, awesome, fantastic day. I'll catch you guys next time. See you guys.